Welcome to the podcast. This week, again, we have another full episode for you. We're going to kick it off with our peaks and our pits, and then, of course, right into Ask Alex. And we do have our third part series interview today for our resilient guest. It's going to be Lloyd and Shorty together as a couple. If you haven't heard their stories from before, go back and listen to the last 2 weeks to get caught up, and then listen to this week's where they're going to be talking about co-parenting, being married, when they met, what happened since, and all of that good stuff. Then we're going to wrap it up. Well, this week, Ben is coming at me with Queen Herbie trivia. So I'm kind of nervous, but that's what we got on the menu for this week. And if you're a smoker, let's wake and bake and let's go. Welcome to the Resilient AF podcast. I'm Alex Fresh.
And I'm Bennett Knows. We believe everything vibrates at a certain frequency, and we're here to raise the vibration.
You'll hear stories of resilience, manifestation, and what to do when you find that even resilience has a toll. Because the bitch is tired, honey. I feel like I need to go get some water. And then we'll start the podcast, y'all, okay?
She needs to quench her thirst.
Okay.
There was a full moon last night.
Yes, there was. I love full moons. Do you do like any rituals or anything on full moons?
I put my crystals outside, charge them up. Sometimes if I'm like in the thick of it, I'll write some things down. I've burned some things that I've written down before, just set intentions for the new season. But yeah, last night I just charged my crystals.
Nice.
Get them ready for the month.
Yep. I like to put water out under a full moon, have moon water.
And what is moon water? It's just like water that you
put under the full moon. So you can cook with it. You can use it in spells.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Moon water. We love that. I do know that people act up more
it gets crazy.
Like during full moons. Like if you go out on a full moon, people are usually doing ratchet shit, fighting. I've gone into a big fight on a full moon and woke up the next day and was like, damn, that was for no reason. And it just had to be the full moon that escalated things.
Yeah, it brings out the wildest things. Like I have cops who are friends. I have friends who run clubs, the nightlife, hospitals. More people get hurt, lots of fights, lots of big energy. So if you're not aware of it, then it can just really overtake a lot of your day and days before and after. The full moon's wild. Yeah,
for sure. But also it could be good because it could help you set those intentions and start a new chapter. And
yeah, most people don't even know that you can do that under a full moon.
Do you know anything specific about this full moon? What does it mean?
It's the second month in a row that it's been on the 21st and in Capricorn. Doesn't happen hardly ever.
On the 21st and in Capricorn.
On the same day, the same month, and in the same sign. Capricorn full moon, July of 2024. It's basically about a time that you can shine and be in the spotlight.
Hey. Yep. I like the way that sounds.
It's going to bring big professional goals that you've been working on to fruition.
Okay.
Time to make more money.
Okay. Yes. I love everything that I hear and I accept it.
Especially if you are a Capricorn moon, this is your time. And Capricorn is Earth, so make sure you're very grounded. The easiest thing that you can do to ground your body is just putting your bare feet on the ground, grass or on the dirt. It actually has been scientifically proven the fastest and the easiest way. Just a few minutes, bare feet on the earth.
Yeah.
So was the full moon crazy for you?
No, nothing crazy because I've just been working and working and working and working. As Brittany says, you better work, bitch. Yeah. What about you? You get kicked out of a bar?
Nope. I've never been 86 from a bar. Have you?
You've never been what?
86 from a bar.
Oh, yeah, I have, for sure.
I'm like, Bennett, do not tell me you don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what it meant, but I could put it together. Yeah,
Stop
I've been kicked out of bars
No. 86 means you can't go back.
Yeah.
Not that you've been kicked out. You just can't ever go back.
I can't ever go back. But I want to try when I go back home.
Oh my God.
Because there was this bar that has, oh my gosh, please don't judge me, y'all. This is so ratchet. But they have this bar back home that has an open pool in Rhode Island, which, is really, really vibey and everybody goes there. And one time that I went there, I got caught hooking up in the bathroom by the security guard. So they kicked me out. And then the next time I went with my girl.
Not your
I
girl,
was just,
like
like,
you're just like
really-
one of your friends. Because
like one of my friends, like, you
Let's
know,
be clear.
like my girl, hey girl. She was like, oh, we should dine and ditch.
like eat
Is that
and
what they
not pay
call
for
it?
it.
Yes. And I let's just say I couldn't keep up because I got caught.
Oh my god.
And I was the reason why everybody had to come back into the bar, you know, because
Bennett.
I wasn't able to get to the car. I was so fucked up. So I think between those two things, they were like, yeah, you can't come back.
You got 86.
Because it seems like every time you're here, you cause a problem.
Damn.
I'm like, I'm not trying to dine and ditch, but I'm also not about to pay for you and your friend's shit. You feel
no,
me?
absolutely
Like,
not. And like the bartender will be like, yeah, you can pay for yours.
I mean, I ended up paying for my shit anyway. I
Yeah,
still got
for sure.
86, Daz just said. I don't know why they call it 86.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, maybe we should go back and we should try and go there.
Yeah, come with me to Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, you should.
Let's
September.
invite our friends. If you're listening, you want to go, let's go. Come with us.
Yeah, let's go to Rhode Island. Let's see if we can get into this bar, if they remember my face. I heard there's new owners.
Oh, there's probably
new
nobody there.
owners, same old rules.
Well, it doesn't sound cracking anyways if you can't have fun. If you can't like just eat and drink for free, fuck them.
Right.
You know? They sound very lame. I don't know if I want to go there anyway.
I paid with my vibes.
You should pay me to be here.
Exactly. But yeah, so I've been 86 from a bar.
I don't even know how we got off on that tangent because,
Because you were like the full moon.
oh yeah. Anyways.
I wonder if it was a full moon those nights I got kicked out of the bar.
Well, if you know the date, you should look it up.
I don't. It was a while, like 10 years ago.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast. Welcome.
Yay.
Monday morning.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, we're going to go straight into our peaks and pits. Bennett, how was your week?
Let's do it. My week has been cool. It's Prime Week, as many of you know. I work at Amazon, so it's just been overtime.
What does that look like? What does Prime Week mean for you?
For me, it just means I'm working more hours. It doesn't seem like the factory and like everything that's going on. It doesn't seem like it's crazier.
Okay, so like
It
if we
just
have
seems-
new listeners, what do you do for work?
Well, right now, there's a bunch of like little robots, I like to call them, but they're drives, and they drive around and bring products around. And I currently work on those machines.
How many more orders do you think that you guys get on Prime Week?
I don't know, probably like 1 million.
What the, like, can you actually see like a lot busier or just like a little bit busier?
A little busier,
I
a
feel
little
like-
busier, but it's probably, you don't notice it because there's so many more people there.
Oh,
You know?
I got you. Explain what it's like when people start shift and end shift.
There's so many people. Like there's I feel like there has to be thousands of people that all clock in at the same time, disperse into their own little areas in the warehouse, which is basically like a full assembly line of products getting sent in and sent out.
It just sounds terrible
Yeah.
to me because I have crowd anxiety.
Well, you can't tell there's so many people in the warehouse until you like it's time to leave, and then you're like, damn, there's so many people here.
That's insane.
They stagger the clock out time.
Oh, got you.
And even with the stagger, it's still like so many more people. And it's so funny because sometimes you'll leave early and like so many people are leaving early. You're like, damn, is everybody getting out early? Why is there 100 people clocking out
Yeah.
2 hours early?
Damn. Yeah, that would just be weird to like work around that many people though.
I know, right? It was. I feel like when I first worked there, I got COVID.
Yeah,
The first day I got there,
Damn.
COVID got me. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, it's been a lot of work overtime, which I mean, we love more money, so that's
Yep.
cool.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems, more hoes. I guess that's been my pit because I only had a day off this week, and you know, I need my time. I need
For
my
sure.
me time. So just working a lot of overtime has been like bumming me out. But I guess it's kind of like a peak too because I'll be getting more money, more shmoney. You feel me? So that was cool, and I'm just manifesting some opportunities that have come my way, and I hope that you know whatever's deserving and whatever's meant for me is for me, and it has a lot more money. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, good luck.
I might have some updates, but yeah, so I guess I don't really have pit this week. Is like I've been working all week, and the peak is like I do feel like there's some opportunities around the corner. So
Yay. Yes. Okay, so my peak is it was my son's birthday this last week on Thursday. So
oh, happy birthday, Jax.
yay, celebrated his birthday week and he turned 12. And where I live, it's like not nice most of the year. I live in Seattle if y'all don't know, but right now in the summer, it's gorgeous. It's always really nice in the summer. You can't really beat the Pacific Northwest in the summertime. It's just so beautiful. But Yeah, I took him jet skiing yesterday. It was so much fun. He had a blast, and we're throwing a birthday party for him next weekend. Me and his dad are going to do a joint one. So yeah, that's my peak. I only got 6 more years, and then I'm going to be an empty nester.
Are you happy and excited for that?
I mean, I cannot wait, but I've really been thinking about it recently because he's at his dad's half the time. Like, we split custody. So when he's at his dad's and I'm by myself, I really enjoy that time because I've been a mom since I got pregnant when I was 17. So
Yeah.
I've never been single or not a mom as an adult, and I'm really looking forward to when Jax turns 18. I mean, I'm gonna be very sad. I've thought about it a lot, but I do know that I will enjoy it as well, and then I'll be able to do whatever the fuck that I want for the first time, like genuinely for the first time in my life. And it's gonna be a weird ass feeling. When I got divorced the first time, I was with his dad for 10 years. When I got divorced, the first weekend after it was final and he had the kids, because my daughter, she's gonna be 19 November, the first weekend that he had them was the weirdest feeling as an adult because I was single and I didn't have my kids. And I do want to say that time, like when I felt that feeling, it was so freeing. It was the most free that I've ever felt in my life. And I haven't felt it really since. It was so intense, so overwhelming that I don't think I've ever felt as an overwhelming feeling in my life as an adult. Yeah, it was wild. So this is going to be in 6 years and I don't know what it's going to feel like, right? I don't know if it'll feel like that. I just don't know if I can ever feel that again, even though I'll actually be free 100% for the first time in my life without a responsibility like that. And I don't know if I'm going to be single then, so it could be different. If I'm not single, it's like, then I'm not actually completely free again as an adult. And I view it like that. I'm spending my time. I am loyal to another person. Like, I can't just do whatever the fuck, So who knows what it's gonna be like then, but yeah, that feeling back then was fucking amazing.
It probably won't be as intense, but it will definitely be there for sure.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be just very much enjoying the next 6 years with him while I have him, because I know that it's gonna go extremely fast, and I know that I'll be very sad when he's gone. And I hope that he comes back and visits me a lot.
Oh, you have a pet?
I was trying to think about it. I just don't.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you should force a pet.
No.
If you don't have one.
Okay, yeah, I don't have a pit. So that's it. We're moving along.
pit.
We're done with our peaks and
Awesome.
pits. Hit us up. How was your week? What was your peak and pit? Hit us up on Instagram at ResilientAF3. And now, what time is it?
It's time for Ask Alex and me.
And
Don't
Bennett.
forget me.
Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-bum. What's the question this week, Bennett?
This one is really, really spicy. So someone said, I've seen your Instagram and what you've been posting. Do you have a new boo? And I'm like, what? What have you been posting on Instagram?
Are you serious? That's funny.
Yes. What did you post? Did you post someone and I missed it?
Well, no. But the only thing that I can think of that they're talking about, there has been a couple of times recently that I reposted this one dude's story, but he drives a BMW and he's the one who asked me to come and like kick it with his crew, right? He's posted a few things and I've reposted on my story, and I guess thinking about it, like I haven't really reposted any other dude's story about anything. He actually hasn't been in the story. It's just been our cars though.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still single, been single, and I very much enjoying single life. Not because I'm being a hoe, because I'm actually not. I mean, I've said this before, but like I have always been very boy crazy, but I'm not right now. So it's very nice to not care about getting any attention from anybody else and really just do whatever the fuck that I want. Not have to answer to anybody or feel obligated or feel bad if I don't. That might sound very selfish, and I'm not doing it on purpose for any other reason other than doing what's best for myself, and it feels good. But no,
Yes.
I don't have no boo. And if I did have a new boo, when would I post him? Dude, I would feel like it would have to be a while.
That would be soon.
It's got to be soon?
No, I said that would be soon if you were posting someone on the gram and I didn't even know who they were.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
No. I mean, like, how long is appropriate, do you think, Bennett? Like, when you start dating someone to actually post them on your Instagram or social?
I think there's two sides to this, because I feel one, you should like feel free to post that person whenever you're ready. Like you might be madly in love with someone sooner than later, and it's like, who's to say wait to post that person and share that piece of your life if you want to. But then the other end of things are like, you don't want to post someone and 2 weeks later
Right.
you're not with them anymore, and then you also don't want people in your business. So it's like, I guess there's a really fine line. I don't really post anyone on my Instagram. Like my last relationship, I started off posting a lot, but then we were like on and off. So like things got taken down. And then it's like, do I want to put them back up just to pull them back down? And it's like, you know, I'm just not even going to post anything at this point.
Yeah.
You used to post a lot of your relationship on Instagram.
Oh, I sure did. And if I'm in a relationship and it's been long enough, and I don't know how long that'll be before I start posting them, once I start posting them, I'll post them all the time. When me and my ex broke up, I took almost every single thing off of all of my socials except like a couple of reels that I really liked. And then after a few months, then I took the reels down, and then it was like for a few months, it was just one picture. And I gotta tell a funny story. It was the last picture that I posted of us together. We were on vacation. My head was like resting on his chest, and I captioned it. Well, I didn't caption it this when I posted it. I changed the caption after we broke up to say our last pic together with like a broken heart. And someone was like, "I'm sorry for your loss." And they thought that someone died. Actually, they were saying that he looked ill.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Stop. I mean, you were mourning, but not for that reason. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank God that didn't happen.
I know,
but
right?
even still.
And then I changed the caption to just a broken heart.
Then they're like, oh my gosh, sorry for your loss.
Anyways, there's zero
Photos now
of any of my exes on any of my socials.
So I was gonna ask one more thing. What if like someone doesn't post you on their Instagram? Does that mean anything?
This is very important. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys have not posted each other yet on socials, which is a healthy thing to do, not at first, right? But they are appearing online like they're single and they're thirsty, that's shady. Like there's a difference. You can tell there's a vibe.
Yeah, I feel it 100%. Like, I don't think that, like, some people are private. Some people don't even post their own shit on social media. But it's like, if you're on there being thirsty, looking single, thirst traps, fishing for those comments, it's like, what the hell is going on? But if you don't put me on your Instagram, nor you're on your Instagram all the time, it's whatever.
Right. Yeah. But eventually, you better be.
Right.
Anyways, if you have a question for Ask Alex, hit us up at ResilientAF3 on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter.
Are we on Twitter?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Yes, we are. I made a Twitter a long time ago. Go
Okay,
follow.
we're on.
Go follow us on Twitter
What's up?
at ResilientAF3. Welcome to the podcast, Lloyd and Shorty. If you guys are new here joining us, this is episode 3 of a 3-part series of this married couple just talking about their journey. First, we started off with Shorty. She did the first episode of the series. Go back if you haven't listened. And then her husband, Lloyd, did the second one. And now here's the third one with them together. So welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Hi.
Hello.
Yay, welcome back. Long time no see or talk.
Hi. So they met when they were very young in high school, and they're going to be speaking about what has been going on in their life. I'm very close with them, and I want them to share intimate stories about specific things that they have shared with me. You know, I know a lot of people have to co-parent and are step parents and are going through a lot. And I ask them to share whatever they feel comfortable with, because it connects with people, and a lot of people don't realize like how much other people are going through likewise situations. I want you guys to feel comfortable sharing whatever you guys want, but dealing with exes still currently, I know how that is, but the more detail, the better.
And I was going to say they both got back together after going down their individual paths and their journeys, and experienced a lot and had to like be resilient and grow during those moments. So I don't know, maybe there's like a little bit of fate with you guys getting back together after that. And I know there was like a little bit of ketamine too, based off of the last interview. So wherever you guys want to start.
That's nice.
The last few years, but from high school till we got back together.
I don't know. How long did we date in high school? Like 7 months?
Yeah. She broke up with me, and because her boyfriend before me decided to kill himself when they broke up, she was worried that I was going to do the same thing, or that was a a fear of hers. Well, gratefully so. And I knew I wanted to marry her. I didn't want to get married at that young age, but I felt like she was my person and I wanted to be with her, and that I hoped that it would go the distance. But it was a lot for her still being in high school and me just getting out of college. We broke up. I ditched town like within 3 days and joined the military and took off. Kind of fast forward, she moved to Boise after graduating. I actually came to Boise and Mountain Home a lot, TDY for the military. So her brother was and is my best friend. So he would come up from Elko and we'd meet up in Boise, and it never failed after a few drinks. Let's go fuck with Shorty. Her brother from another mother and father, Chris, would decide, let's go over to Shorty's place and mess with her. And we always saw each other every couple of years. Then her mom died.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped everything to go up to Kellogg for her mom's service. I loved her mom. I love her dad.
So I have to piggyback on this. So when my mom died, my dad and my brother drove up, picked me up, and then we drove up to North Idaho for my mom's service. I pulled into my uncle's house, and this motherfucker sitting outside on the street in his car. I had no idea he was coming, and I was extremely upset that I had to deal with that.
Wait, you were upset that he was there?
Yes.
Why?
Because I was going through rough times. I had just gotten married.
Oh,
I was getting cheated on, found nasty pictures and texts and a phone. And then I show up and my ex-boyfriend's there.
Oh, yeah, that would suck.
And my mom's died, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to do
Okay, yeah.
doing that. And
So
it
were
was
you guys
rough.
civil? Like, did you guys talk?
Not at first.
Okay.
He had to tell me that he wasn't going to bite me if I sat down next to him at
It
dinner.
was hilarious. She was like walking around the back porch awkwardly. There was 2 spots, these like picnic tables or whatever. I finally said, Shorty, I'm not going to bite. Come sit down. So she sat down, and that kind of broke the ice. And then we do what we normally do during funerals, and we went to the fucking bar.
But we were both married.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was that just awkward tension.
We're at the bar, and she like unzipped her hoodie to let the puppies out. And I walked up to her and I grabbed her hoodie and I zipped it back up, and I said, I don't need to be seeing that. Because I'm going to be staring at it all day long if you don't fucking put those away.
And then I got extremely intoxicated. Ended up walking outside the bar to get fresh air. And he sat down next to me and I lost it. I was like, why are you here? I don't need to deal with this. And then I ended up staying in his motel room that night because him and
Shorty.
my brother. What? My brother was with us.
We didn't do anything.
We were both married.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
That's the problem.
Come on.
Well, we both lied. I mean,
I'm sure
I-
you did not tell your husband and wife that you guys were sleeping in the same hotel room that
Okay,
night.
it was a suite. There was 2 queen
I'm
size
sure it
beds in
was
there.
sweet.
And
Very
I-
sweet.
It's their fault though, because they were supposed to take me back to my uncle's house.
but she was too drunk to like get up the stairs at the fucking hotel. And she kept hitting me, telling me to quit touching her. And I was like, I'm just trying to help you up the goddamn stairs. I'm not touching you inappropriately.
You're the one
And
who
she's
popped
like,
your titties
"Touch
out.
me, you're married. Well, no shit. So are you.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Wow. So was this like the start of you guys?
No.
No,
No,
because they were married for a
Absolutely
long
not.
ass time, both of them.
Oh, so this was just one of your little check-ins that you guys were having over the years.
We were never planned. I mean, well, that definitely wasn't planned. And I wasn't allowed to have Facebook. So I was like
You weren't allowed.
separated from the world. I'm up in Podunk, Montana, just kind of isolated, like separated from the outside world. If you weren't in that general area or a family check-in, like even to call her brother, I used to have to go through my ex-wife because I'd never had Kevin's number. She'd have to get it from him on Facebook and then call him.
Mm.
It was weird. Very,
controlling.
That
yeah,
is
very
crazy.
weird. So
Lloyd, I'm surprised that you allowed that.
it kind of goes into the PTSD thing and all the medication that I was taking. That's why I guess I decided to go into that during my interview because it was mind control. I was numb from all the medication.
Yeah. Do you think that it was codependency at all? Which obviously is not like how the name sounds. It's codependent is like when you take care of somebody else's feelings before yourself.
I mean, yeah, I did everything I basically did everything for her. I did the church thing. I mean, after 10 years, I didn't even know who the fuck I was anymore. I'd look in the mirror and I couldn't even recognize myself.
I even asked him that when him and I started hanging out again, and he started telling me stories about running sound at church and going to church every Sunday, and I'm just like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Didn't drink for like over a decade. I mean, maybe once or twice a year I would tie one off.
Whoa.
But otherwise, I didn't drink at all. I wouldn't even have a beer with a meal a lot of the times.
They weren't even allowed to have glasses in the house that had anything to do with alcohol on them.
I mean, I didn't realize that it was like that serious of control from her.
Yeah, I don't know. I look back on it and I don't know what the fuck I was thinking other than I was just a fucking zombie.
I mean, I mean, the medication, sure, but like also the abuse, it fucks with you bad.
So then we finished up her service and then went back to our lives, right? Fast forward February 2014, my stepbrother, he got blown up in Afghanistan on his way back to the airport, leaving the big...
Wait, did he pass?
Huh?
Did he pass away?
Yeah, he died.
Oh, wow.
So it was just before Valentine's Day, 2014. He was coming back. He had a 6-month tour left teaching like fair and equal and what cruel and unusual punishment is. And he was working at the prison. Basically, he worked with all the terrorist prisoners that didn't get sent to Guantanamo Bay. Well, he was a lead vehicle in the convoy that was headed to the airport to fly out, and a suicide bomber hit him and killed him. Then another contractor from Texas and a bunch of Afghani civilians. That year was kind of a fucked up month. And I was working down in Butte on a project that I was the winning bidder of, and just spending a lot of time by myself in a cab of a construction machine. And just had a lot of time to think. I started really reassessing my life. I had a lot of regret because my brother was about to just like kind of start his life. He'd been just kind of traveling the world and doing this contract stuff and fucking making just a ton of money, and he was finally going to settle down. He had reconnected with a girl from high school, bought a house in Vegas for cash, and they were getting ready to start their lives and whatnot. And then he died, and I was like, he didn't sign up for that shit. Like I did. And I felt, I don't know, I just had remorse that why did it happen to him? He was such a good dude. And
was it survivor's guilt or?
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best way to describe it. I don't know. I was in a weird space. So then I just started kind of thinking about my life, and I was like, I'm 34 years old. I've been miserable in my marriage since my second daughter was pretty much born, and I really didn't have a wife anymore. There was just a lot of fucked up things, and I'll save everyone the details of just kind of some of the shit. But like for me, it was she wanted me to work so she could fucking eat Perkins and just fuck off and go to Bible studies and shit like that and pick the kids up and burn the fuel on the company dime. I was just like, I either am going to have to accept this, and this is going to be my life, and I'm probably going to be miserable for the rest of my life because it's not going to change, or I'm going to have to do something about it. It took me many months of thinking and whatnot, and I decided that I don't want to be miserable the rest of my life. I'd rather, at this point, I'm married with 2 kids, and I never see my fucking kids. And I had a wife that was just cracking the whip, wanting me to work more and more and more. So more money was coming in so she could spend it, and yet was getting no help with them on the company that me, her, and her dad had created together. I was just like, fuck it, I'm done. It's time to start over.
Good, that's resilient.
So then that's what I told her. I drove up there and took the kids to my mom's and drove back, and I told her, we're done. And like, I'm not even willing to try to fix this.
What was her response right away to you?
Oh, she fucking waterworks and play the victim, and I'll do better, and I'll suck your dick, and let's have sex, and I'm like, this isn't gonna fucking change anything because you're just gonna go back to we're not gonna do anything, and I'm never gonna be around. Like, you're never gonna want me around, or you're always gonna be fucking gone at your family farm or your sister's house or wherever the fuck it is you're not working. And this is after she had already run through $100,000 worth of inheritance, forging checks out of my fucking investment account that had all the money I got from when my dad died.
Wait, did she get prosecuted for that?
No.
The fuck?
Yeah.
So you signed up for Facebook and met me.
Yeah. So
Is that when you found out about this via Facebook?
it was about Father's Day.
And I was like, ooh, this will be fun. Except, and we just started talking
Yeah.
all the time.
Were you in your relationship at this point when he left his?
This is when I was staying with my ex's dad.
If you don't know what she's talking about, part 1 of the 3-part interview. So you guys were both out of your relationships at this point. It sounds like, everything happens for a reason. So what happened next?
My uncle died, and I actually went and picked him up on my way to North Idaho. I went through Montana, picked him up. He came to North Idaho with me for the weekend. We had a great day.
We had a great day.
Sure you did.
We had a great day.
But
So-
he had to get really drunk after a few days and call me from Montana to ask if that was like a fun weekend or if we were going to be together.
What did you say?
Yeah. I didn't want to get on Plenty of Fish or some fucking dating app or
Yeah,
start,
fuck that.
I don't know, I didn't want that to get in the way if we were going to give it a go.
I actually said, yes, I've always loved you.
Oh,
Aw.
so how did you know that this time around you guys were ready to actually do it? Well, it probably was because of your time apart and all the
You guys-
shit you both went through. You're like, fuck
And
this.
both single.
Yeah.
It was just,
And it was too stupid to not give it a chance.
we were so comfortable around each other when it was just the two of us. It felt right. Everything, we had
Like no time has
apart.
passed. Yeah. That's genuine.
Yeah, that's genuine. That's how you know shit is real.
It was a rough road. When I split, the only thing I took was a 42-inch TV and my clothes. I left everything. I gave them everything. I said, I don't want fucking nothing from you but visitation of my children as much as possible and clothes and that TV. That's all I left that relationship with. And her ex stole most of the stuff that had any value. It was a very trying time because our initial plan was to move to Butte. I said, well, let's live in Butte. We both liked Butte. And she told her ex-father-in-law the plan. And that's when her ex went and got a fucking lawyer and a private investigator and a bounty hunter and just created a bunch of fucking problems to stop that from happening. So cops got involved and shit like that. And then I just said, come get me. I'm done. I'm not even. So she came up and picked me up. And yeah, we were couch surfed for
Couple weeks, took out a bunch of those stupid high interest car loans and shit
title loans.
just to get into a place.
Neither of us really had anything. We had her Neon. I was working for a company out of California, so I was traveling a lot as a superintendent. We went through our trials and tribulations going into the co-parenting thing.
It was rough.
I was driving back and forth to over by Idaho Falls to pick up my kids for long weekends. Her kids, Aries was fucking little.
Just a baby.
And it was very clear in the beginning that there was 2 different parenting styles between the two of us.
Like what was different between you guys?
Well, my daughters had very structured upbringing. There was always a dead set bedtime each night. They were always through the bath and going to bed. Whereas with hers,
Mine was if I could get their ass to bed, thank God. They had a bedtime, but they'd go in that room and they definitely weren't sleeping. They were hanging out or doing whatever. I was just happy if they'd actually go to bed. And they kind of ran all over me.
even like on the weekends, if I wasn't doing anything with my kids, and back when the ex was working and she worked over the weekends, there was a pretty defined time, like 8 or 9 o'clock, you're going to get up and get breakfast. And I mean, I didn't drink, so there's no hangovers. I did my handful of fucking pills, but I was a zombie. So I wanted to go to bed as well. I was like 10 o'clock latest, I'm out.
That was definitely an adjustment in the beginning too, because he would get upset that when he went to bed that I didn't want to go.
That would be an adjustment, like if one does and one doesn't, and you're used to that before.
Yeah.
And then Aries, he'd stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Because he was used to hanging out with me.
Her fucking daughters would it would start at 10:30 at night, standing in the fucking doorway wanting to talk about their day.
Shorty,
And I'm
why
like,
the
God
fuck
damn.
would you want to deal with that though? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I love my son. Like, I'm thinking about it. Like, I mean, I love my daughter too, but she's an adult and whatever. But I don't want to hang out with him until 2 o'clock in the morning.
They would
My
not say
kids were
shit.
all I had.
It was an excuse to fucking come stand in our doorway at 10:30. It never failed.
But that's what they would do.
Well, they continued to do it even up
and stay
until
there.
Ayla's not as bad. Alizé was the fucking worst.
And the hardest part is we go in and out of the garage and our bedroom is right there. So when they come home from work at 9 or 10 and we're just chilling, they like want to tell us about their work day. And it's like, just go away. Just tell me tomorrow.
Right?
But it didn't matter. It didn't matter if they were coming in from work. If they didn't work that day, they'd come in at 5 or we'd come in at 5 and they wouldn't fucking talk to us for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So did that
So-
cause like a lot of like issues in your guys' relationship?
A lot of conversations, a lot of disagreements.
So that's just like parenting styles, right? So then,
I'd say the only time we've ever like gotten into it is about the kids. So I feel like it's
So-
super common. It really is in like a relationship like that. When you guys both have kids with exes and different parenting styles, it's gonna for sure happen.
But how do you make it work? How do you guys, you said a lot of conversation.
well, with Aries, he's been around since the beginning. He doesn't know any difference. So
Okay, yeah.
he's always been kind of a disciplinarian and always been part of it. So with the girls, it was more like, just have my back. Just have my back.
I had
I had to
to,
grow a backbone and they didn't like that. And there
I
was a lot
know,
of
right?
pushback, and they were like my little homies, my
I-
little best friends.
Yep. And I feel like that's what moms do a lot. They try to be their friend instead of a parent. And then when we try to set
Lloyd-
boundaries, it causes issues.
Yes.
Lloyd, was there anything that you had to like kind of adopt from her parenting style, the way that she had to do yours? Any changes that you had to make or
Or
go ahead, Shorty. You obviously
chomping at the bit.
He learned it's okay to tell your kids to go fuck themselves. He never used bad language around the kids. My kids, they know all the words. It's fine.
maybe to not be so filtered around her, around your kids?
Yes.
Maybe that's something that,
I
he
wasn't
picked up.
so filtered with my kids anymore. If the kid said something stupid, absolutely mind-blowingly stupid, I'd just be like, you can fuck off with all that bullshit because that's not going to happen. So here's a couple things. And I had to shock her kids to get them in line. So Aries was easy because he was a baby. He would not go to bed. And for like 2 years, once I quit traveling and was home every night, I put his ass to bed every night.
Oof.
I took him into the bathroom that had no windows. I shut all the fucking lights off and I had to hold him, like put one arm in between his legs and then his head would lay on my other arm and I would have to hold him and just rock him back and forth. And he would sit there and he would kick and he would flail and all this shit. And he could go for, I think the longest he ever went was an hour and a half.
Holy shit.
And he would kick his own feet to keep himself awake. So I had to be creative. This was probably from a year and a half until about 3.
Dude, Lloyd, that's some love right there. For you to come into a family that has a baby and to like actually step up as a step parent and be a good father at that young of an age, I couldn't do it.
So, and I don't know. I've always been about like, you got to outsmart the kids. So like his kicking, you know how I got him to stop kicking?
How?
I'd put his feet by the doorknob. So when he'd kick the fucking doorknob.
Terrible.
I wasn't inflicting bodily harm to him. He was inflicting bodily harm to himself.
We'll learn.
Terrible.
So he
So would you stand by the door? Like, how would that work?
Yeah, I stand by the door And my back's all fucked up. I shouldn't be carrying this kid to begin with. So he's kind of sitting down low and it was perfect height. I just realized that once he kicked it one time, I learned that he quit kicking afterwards. So I did it night after night after night. I'd put his feet by the doorknob and let him kick the doorknob so he'd quit kicking. So,
and then he went to sleep.
Sleep training.
Ayla, she thought twice about fucking with me because this was when we were couch surfing the very beginning.
Don't tell this story. I don't like this story. Don't tell it. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't even like talking about it.
But you don't say it. You better fucking tell me offline though. I want to know.
Take that offline. Yeah.
It's about to be a one-on-one conversation with Alex and me. Alize, I don't remember what we were beefing. Alize actually embraced me in the beginning, but that was short-lived. That only lasted a couple months. I don't remember what beef happened.
It was when your kids came here and my kids had a rough time because they felt they were getting treated different. He treated his kids differently. And it actually got brought up a few years later. His daughter even told him that he treated my kids differently.
Lloyd, did you think that you did? Looking back?
Oh yeah, I do treat them differently because they're different kids. So,
that's not what we mean though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you treat them better?
No, I treated the kids all the same.
So what are they?
I didn't take my kids to go get ice cream and leave Shorty's kids at home.
But there's like, it's just like difference. Like, what do they mean when they say that though? What do you think they're meaning?
The way Harley put it, his oldest, was he definitely got on my kids more for what they were doing.
And which is fine, Lloyd, like, because like a lot of parents do that, right? A lot of step parents do that. So like, I'm just wondering if you think that you did or you didn't.
I treat her kids the same way that she treats her kids. When in the mornings, when it comes to rousting the kids, and there was all 5 of them here, it was 45 minutes of Shorty screaming, "Get your fucking ass out of bed!"
Fuck yeah.
Screaming at every one of them, going in there, ripping the covers off of them, then going, whining, whatever fucking noises and bullshit, and always scrambling out the door. Oh, by the way, I need fucking cupcakes for a fucking party, and they're supposed to be at school in 10 minutes. So now she's hot-tailing it up to fucking Albertsons to buy some goddamn cupcakes. Never fucking informed you of anything. My kids,
they set alarms. My God.
They wake us up.
Stop.
They're up before us.
Stop it right now.
No, I swear to God. Last summer, when his youngest was here, I said, hey, remind me around 5 o'clock, because she asked me to stop and get something on the way home. And I said, I'll probably forget, so remind me around 5 o'clock. She set a fucking alarm.
Well, of course. You told her
to remind me at 5 o'clock.
So we see the difference.
For her, she wants it, so she's not gonna forget.
Oh my God, I could not live my life like that. I'd fly by the seat of my pants.
My kids, I could walk in there and I could just tap them on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, it's time to get up," and they're up.
Oh shit, that's not like my girl was. That's how my son is, but that's not how my daughter was.
So. Yes, they're treated differently. So
yeah, and like also if like some kids are easier in certain ways and some kids are not, it's just like naturally just like easier to be easier on the easier one.
No, really, because you don't gotta tell you don't have to tell them 5 times to get out of bed.
I don't talk to Aries like I talk to Alize and Ayla. Mm-hmm. Aries is more like my 2 daughters, but
I know
there's still a little bit of
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. My ex was like that too. My ex, the step parent, would treat my daughter differently than my son. Like he would treat my son better.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alize pulled that bullshit and she tried going, because the first rental house that we lived a couple houses down
God, don't even get into all that either.
From a friend, we'll just say a person, an acquaintance. So she's like, I'm leaving, I'm going down to their house and I'm staying there. And she was gonna let that happen. And I was like, the fuck you are. Like, kids do not run this fucking house. but they would run all over her. And I was like, I can't put up with this.
I'm just like, she's utilizing someone else's time and I don't have to deal with her ass tonight. Let her deal with her. That's fine.
And I was like, we're not doing that bullshit. This is our fucking house. They're going to do what we tell them to do. And they don't get to fucking run away. They're not going to learn how to cope. Alze can't cope
Today.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's like you wait, it's like too long. Like they're too old. It's like you can't teach old dogs new tricks kind of thing.
No, she's 21 years old and can't
Unless-
make a doctor's appointment for herself.
If they don't want to put in the work, you can only try so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are all the kids out? Are all the kids older now?
Yeah, how old are all the kids? Shorty, you go first.
Mine's 21, almost 18, and 11.
Lloyd.
Okay, so you're still busy.
My oldest turned 18 today, and
Oh,
my
shit.
youngest is going to turn 16 on the 1st of August.
Wow, you two are busy. I'm thinking all your kids are like grown and
Lloyd's are almost,
yeah, but still 16 is
that's almost
a
there.
handful. Yeah, that's almost there, but don't they? It's a handful. I remember when I was 16, I was a handful. So
My middle kid is the one that I was always worried about, and she's the easiest kid to deal with.
Yeah, she's
I would-
Yeah,
so good.
nowadays, but she's
She was a shit when she was little. I'll admit that. But during high school,
Very
the
good
worst
student.
thing she's done is stayed out till 4 a.m. because she was playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like,
she wasn't like Alize that would just come home absolutely fucking hammered, stoned, or whatever. She would come home smashed and could hardly walk into the fucking house at midnight. And
and your kids are such people pleasers that they don't even leave the house and do anything when they're here. So they're easy.
I don't know, they keep themselves so busy. They're involved in everything. It's like if
They have FOMO.
if there's a yacht club they can go to, they're going to go to the fucking yacht club. If there's tennis that they can play, they're going to play tennis. They're involved in drama, choir. One is a fucking sharpshooter for Marine ROTC. They're just always, one's a black belt. I mean, they keep themselves so busy. They don't even want to stay out late.
I think that's a learned behavior from their mother.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe that's because like you raising them being in the military, regimented lifestyle, the good behavior.
the good behavior, the always wanting to do
Structure,
something.
yeah.
That sounds like your time and what you shared with us, how you always wanted to work, always wanted to be the best.
All I do is work now. So we're starting to get better about fitting. I mean, it's taken 10 years for us, to start with nothing and pay. God, I was paying we took out a $2,000 title loan and we had to pay $650 a month on that fucking thing because it was at 300% interest or some bullshit.
What?
Yeah, it was
Just to get into a house.
just to get into a house, and it was fucking tough to get that bitch paid off. Yeah, I paid $4,000 or $5,000 to get that title loan to where I didn't have to make any more payments. It was ridiculous. That's the kind of struggles we had. Then between that and we had to rent a couch and a TV in the beginning just so we had furniture to sit on. And then finally Shorty started getting some remnants of stuff that didn't get stolen. And we started to be able to cook something at the house.
'Cause,
We were
yeah,
juggling one car for
Yeah, my ex
2
definitely
years.
waited until I was in the worst position possible to serve me with papers to where he looked good because he had a house, he had this. So we had to do all that in order for me to be able to keep the kids.
Yeah, between that and then furnishing our houses, for us to pay for 2 divorces at the same time was incredibly difficult. She was only working 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, and sending her son to freaking daycare. So her paycheck was going to daycare and 5 hours spent in traffic every day to get me to work once I got a job here in town. And then I think she put 50 or 60,000 miles on her car that first year that we were together. And then, just to get beds for the kids and furniture for them to sit on. And when my divorce, there was stuff that they decided they didn't want. So they just kind of threw it all in a trailer and I went and picked it up. And Yeah, it's just to build what we have now. I mean, every kid's sleeping on a new fucking mattress, on a new bed frame. There's plenty of food in the fridge. I mean, she had to be on food stamps for a while. And I mean, nice to an extent, I guess, but make that transition off of food stamps was a trial in and of itself because we had to incorporate that back into our budget. I pay an exorbitant amount of child support. So a huge chunk of my paycheck is out every month. She doesn't receive shit for child support, and he's 5 figures deep in arrears.
How important is it to have like a supportive partner to help you build? You both had to like rebuild and were able to do so, it sounds like. So how important is it to have like the right partner? Because if you don't have the right person in your life, you won't build. You'll keep on like, it won't work, you know? So
It's definitely the person, because before we got back together, you were doing very well in your life, financially wise.
Yeah.
At one point, I had all the money I ever needed, but I had nothing to show for it. I couldn't do that with my ex. We had nothing to show for anything, any of the money that we made.
Yeah, we have assets now. There's value in this relationship, whereas that was just another of many reasons of why to start over, because there wasn't anything really to stay there for other than the kids, and that's not. One of the best things was when we first got back together, it was, oh, kids come first, and I saw this, I guess a meme, a post on Facebook. Basically, it was kids don't come first. You come first. If you don't take care of yourself and you're not healthy and you don't have healthy relationship with your partner and we don't make ourselves number one priority, then we can't provide the best for the kids.
Exactly.
So
it's true.
And we told the kids that straight up one day. You expect us to put you first in all situations. And I told them one day straight up, that shit's going to stop. It's not happening anymore. If you don't.
Because that's how I always thought. I'm just now starting to take care of myself because I've always put my kids first.
When I started visiting her and was around her kids, we'd go eat. She wouldn't order any food for herself. She would only order food for the kids.
She still does that.
Yeah.
Stop it.
she said she's just now learning to take care of herself. She's getting there.
But she would just eat their scraps. That was it, whatever was left. And if there wasn't anything left, then she would swing through and get a jerky stick with a pack of cigarettes or something like that, or a Red Bull. It was always to make sure there was food in her kids' mouth and they were taken care of and they were comfortable. I was going to say, just to recap for everyone, we just celebrated being together for 10 years.
Yay. Congratulations, guys.
Ago. So
congratulations. That's a really big deal.
Okay.
Feels like 30.
So Shorty, we didn't ask you what resilience means to you on your episode, but I'm going to ask you right now what resilience means to you.
So I actually looked it up, and one of the ways they described resilience was elasticity.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me think of a bounce back.
I love that.
To quote
And just being
the
able to-
situation, the comeback's always better than the setback.
Yes.
It sure is all the time. And it was for both of you.
We overcame some.
I don't know, it's kind of cool that at 10 years, it's getting more exciting because one, the kids are starting to go off on their own. And it's like, get the fuck out. Go do something with your lives. Make a fucking decision on your own for once and do it. Please do. Get away from your mother. Get out of your mom's house. Please.
For real. Well, guys, that was a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a really good story.
It was. I appreciate you guys being open and vulnerable and sharing all of that. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we log off?
Love you.
Love you.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, if you guys want to share your resilient story, hit us up on Gmail. So it's resilientaf3@gmail.com. Just give us a few notes about what your story's about. We'll hit you back and we'll set a time. All right. Well, what's next, Bennett?
Well, last week you got me all caught up with my Nicki Minaj trivia. I wanted to see if you would answer more than I did with your favorite artist, Queen Herbie.
Ooh, I'm nervous. Even though I feel like I know a lot about her.
I think these ones are easy.
Okay.
But that's what we said about the Nicki Minaj questions last week. So
I thought they were easy. And
I think you got
You're a
this.
huge fucking Nicki fan. Like, whew, I'm nervous.
I think you're an even bigger Queen Herbie.
I think we're like maybe
we're
equal. So we'll see.
8 questions like you hit me with.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
All right, let's do this. Number 1, what was the name of the group that Queen Herbie debuted in 2012?
Karma.
Is that your final
Yes.
answer? That's incorrect. It
What
was
is it?
Carmen, not
Oh
Karma.
my God.
Not the same.
But
Well,
that
I'll
is a
give
good
you
question.
half a
I
point.
should have known that.
You should have known that
I was close,
for
but whatever.
sure.
Anyways, keep going.
She goes by Queen. She is the queen, but what is her name?
Amy.
Redemption for full name.
Well, it's Noonan right now, but her maiden name?
Noonan.
Okay, well, I got her last name.
All right, we'll give you 2 points.
Amy
We'll give it
Amy
to you.
Noonan.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
All right. Which rapper was the Queen's official debut single inspired by?
Busta Rhymes.
Ooh, correct.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, she has over 10 EPs, extended plays. But what year did Queen Herbie's only studio album drop?
2020.
Is that your final answer?
One?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
2021.
Yes! Yes!
What was the name of it?
Was it Sugar Daddy?
It was a woman. All right. Where was Queen Herbie born?
She was born in Nebraska.
Correct.
Yes.
We went to see Queen Herbie earlier this year. What songs did she encore with?
She encored with Sugar Daddy.
Correct. She also covered one of my favorite artists' songs.
Yes.
What song and by who?
It's Gift of Gab. Correct.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect.
who was
She
it?
covers Chris Brown's
Oh.
Look at Me Now.
Okay.
All right. I think you know this one.
Okay.
Finish these lyrics.
Okay.
Seriously.
Seriously. Like, have you seen
Like,
my
have you seen my silhouette? Sheesh. It's
Yes.
giving me that character energy.
Yes.
All right. You are definitely a fan because you got 6 points.
Sheesh. Yes.
Sheesh.
I did better than I thought I was going to do.
Good
proud of
job.
myself right
She
now.
did that.
All right. Well, that's
What a
it.
good show.
That was
what
fun.
a good 3-part series.
Yes. And yes, this was a really fun episode. So, just going to recap it. Hit us up if you have an Ask Alex question, or if you want to share a resilient story that you have about your life. If you want to play me in trivia, if you have a recommendation for a conspiracy that you want us to talk about,
Yeah.
hit us up on Instagram at ResilientAF3. And follow us on Instagram. I'm at ThatDreas.
I'm at Bennett Knows. And if you can't find that, just go in Alex's Friends and look for me.
Just type in Bennett and he'll come right up.
Yeah. Hello.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. We love you and thank you for listening.
Yes. Have a